What is going on, guys? If you want to know how I went from this to this, then continue watching the video. I'm going to teach you step by step on how I did it, and all under 1.3K. Let's get to it. So for this project, it's gonna start off a little different. I'm gonna keep the furniture in the room. It's too much of a hassle to take it apart and store it in the hallway. So I'm gonna just work on one half and then work on the other half and move the furniture to the finished half. That's how we're gonna do it. All right, so these are the tools you basically need to get started. The first thing we're gonna do is cut out our holes for our electrical, so that way all the dust falls on top of the carpet. And when I cut it, I don't have to clean up afterward. And these are my go-tos for cutting the carpet, scraping the staples off. And these two I use for taking off the tack strips. Let's get to it.
So over here I'm marking my holes and I'm cutting them right after with a cutting tool. And then I'm going to demo the carpet, so that way I can roll up all the stuff that fell down, as you can see. And the best way to do it, as I've mentioned before, is to cut in 5-foot sections. And when you're hammering the tack strips, one piece of advice is to hit the big nail that's holding them down. Do not just pry them up, because they will break and it will make a huge mess.
Alright, I just got done with the demo. Now I'm just gonna take off all the wall plates, cover everything in the middle. And yeah, I even got my lights installed. I don't have it hooked up yet. I'm waiting for tomorrow, because tomorrow's gonna be around 60 degrees and right now it's around 100. So yeah, more comfortable in the attic that way. But yeah, so this is how it's looking right now.
So now we are prepping for paint. That includes patching up all the holes, any nicks on the walls and whatnot, and also masking off all the whites. Basically anything you don't want paint on, even the windows. And I don't usually use masking tape like on the baseboard and stuff, but yeah, it just makes life easier.
Alright, I just finished covering everything up that I don't want paint on. And all of this plus the demo of the floor and putting in the lights and whatnot, it took all around 3 hours. And I'm ready for paint tomorrow. Today I'm gonna clean up. And yeah, I gotta throw away a lot of trash.
Alright, over here I'm brushing in all the edges, anything basically that my roller would have a hard time getting to. I'm just using a normal paintbrush, and the paint color I'm using is called Elemental. I believe it's from Home Depot. Either way, it's whichever brand has the PP&G. And yeah, now we're ready to start rolling. I use an 18-inch roller. I got it from Amazon, and the holder itself is from Home Depot. It's very sturdy and I recommend it because you can extend it out and it doesn't bend in the middle. Some rollers do that, if you would know, if you had a cheap one. Also, every pass that I'm making, I am overlapping the last one I'm doing. So that's why it kind of takes a while to paint. And I did 2 full coats for brushing and rolling.
What is going on, guys? I just finished up painting the room. Now I just moved all the things so I can lay down the floor. I'm gonna get about almost halfway or a little more than halfway, and then I can move the bed onto the finished part. And these are the lights I installed. They look pretty good and they're even on the wall. Look, this is straight right here. And then these are aligned as well.
Alright, on to everyone's favorite part, the floors. And it is actually one of the hardest parts to do, especially the first rows. The first rows are the hardest because there's no weight holding down the floor, and you can easily move it left and right, and you can get your expansion gap off. So what I like to do is I go back and forth, and I'm checking expansion gap as I go, especially for the first rows. And when I'm installing my rows, I complete one entire row, and then I snap that row to my finished floor. I see some guys, they do like a staircase installation where they do one row at a time, where they're banging it on not only the right side, which is the longest side of the laminate floor, but they're banging it from the top side, which I think is a big no-no. The only time I'm banging that is when I'm away from the wall near the last row. But other than that, it's I don't like to do that. It damages the floor, and it takes a lot of strength for the floor to slide in once it's already locked in place. So try not to get in the habit of doing that. Try to do what I'm doing here, where I do one complete row, then snap it in, another complete row, then snap it in, just like that. And as you're going, keep making sure that you have the expansion gap of 1/4 inch all around, because there will be a time where your floor expands or contracts and it will buckle, and it will usually buckle in the middle, and you don't want that headache. And there I am installing the last row.
What is up, guys? So I just got done finished with the floor. Now I'm gonna just clean up a little bit and put the trim on. This is how it's looking so far, and I got my trim already laid out and pre-cut. So let's get to it.
I think I have the fastest method of cutting trim and installing it. I pre-cut everything at 45s, and then I meet them at the middle and I cut again. I don't measure anything, and you can barely see the cuts. And I'm using a Milwaukee 18 gauge nailer to install them. So this is the finished product, guys, and if you like the video, go ahead and thumbs up it, leave a comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And let's go over pricing. The floors itself were around 850, and the paint itself was around 150, and the transition pieces were around 60, and the trim around the walls were around 70. And yeah, other than that, it was just hard work, and I had some material left over for the electrical, but all of that was probably around 100 as well. See you in the next one.